The very first Xiaomi device I ever owned was the Mi 4i back in 2015. Well, it's definitely been a long time, and a lot has evolved in the budget space since then. Heck, back then the Nexuses were still around. I'm Lida from Hypnotech, and today we are taking a look at a $200 phone from Xiaomi that has redefined what it means to be on a budget. This is the Mi A1, and it is almost everything I could have asked for, not only in a budget phone, but a phone in general. And a big reason for that? Well, I'll tell you right now in our full review of the Xiaomi Mi A1. Before we go over what makes this phone better than most, let's go over the hardware really quick. The front of the Mi A1 isn't anything spectacular. You have a 16:9 aspect ratio screen from yesteryear with a 5.5-inch full 1080p IPS display. It won't blow anyone away with its big bezels, but it is pleasant to look at with good color reproduction. On the back side, however, the Mi A1 is very reminiscent of the OnePlus 5T. It even feels like one too. But the 5T isn't the only thing it's been mistaken for. Plenty of people have asked me if it's an iPhone 8. What separates the A1 from those other phones, though, are the internals. This aluminum unibody holds 4 GB of RAM, backing a Snapdragon 625, which I have to say is pretty darn smooth for the most part. While this phone has hints of premiumness, the width of it feels a little unwieldy with one hand. Maybe it's because we've adjusted to leaner and taller 18:9 phones, but it is noticeably harder to operate than I remember it to be. Rounding out the hardware, the bottom firing speaker is decently loud but can be muffled by your hands. The back fingerprint scanner is snappy, albeit a little small in my opinion. Making the scanner just a tad bit bigger might make it easier when you're searching the back of your phone for it. The bottom of the phone features a USB-C port for charging and a headphone jack as well. Having a USB-C port on a $200 phone makes this an automatic winner when compared to a lot of its competition in this price point. I do wish the navigation keys were on screen with the back and recent apps on the correct sides. Xiaomi has done that with the Redmi 5 Plus and the Mi Mixes. It's time they keep that consistent. Do you know what my favorite feature is on this phone? The best feature on the A1 is that it has no special feature. No extra bells and whistles, no crazy AI tools. This is stock Android outside of Google as you can get, because it kinda is from Google. This is Android One. The Android One experience was a pure Android enthusiast's dream come true. I felt like I was using a brand new Nexus phone in so many instances. Even when playing intensive games, there was limited lag during the experience. Switching between multiple open apps was a breeze for the A1, and I rarely felt any stuttering during daily usage. The only app I really had trouble with was Snapchat, which tends to be laggy on many phones to begin with. Despite a mid-tier processor, the Mi A1 still felt like a flagship at many times, and a lot of that is because of Android One. You also get 2 years of Google updates, which is great for anyone who's looking to keep their phone for a while. After using the phone for a few weeks, I have to say that I've been pleasantly impressed with the camera quality of the Mi A1. Although there could be software improvements, it was overall a very solid companion. The camera performed well enough in low light, able to capture a good amount of light and exposure for a target. This was also consistent when taking portrait pictures, adjusting for depth of field. The images for the most part came out better than I expected. There were some focal issues, which means you'll have to take a few pictures to make sure that you got the right one. While the shutter was a little slow and focus did take some time to readjust at certain points, I'm very happy with the results, especially when you consider that this is a $200 phone. With a solid build quality and the Android One experience, along with the fact that I get 4G LTE with T-Mobile here in the US, although a little weaker than I'd like, it's really hard to go against the Mi A1. I've been a fan of Xiaomi for a long time for their insane quality to price ratio, but not necessarily a fan of MiUI. This was close to the perfect match we've all been waiting for. And although a few improvements should be made in the upcoming A2, It's safe to say that for this price, the Mi A1 from Xiaomi is the spiritual successor of the Google Nexuses. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, hit the bell button below so that you don't miss a single video in the future. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!